can't deny that cupcakes give us that feel-good nostalgia, and right at the top of my list when it comes to cupcakes is the red velvet. The classic cupcake kickoff, we've got 60 grams of unsalted butter. So we've got that at room temp, it's just gonna make it so much easier to work with. I've got my old school gadget over here. We're doing it by hand with a mixer. If you've got a stand mixer, absolutely go for it. 150 grams of caster sugar in there, and I've got our dry mix over here. So I've got plain flour, we've got about a cup of plain flour, about a quarter cup of cocoa powder. So the red velvet, it's got that classic quintessential chocolate flavor to it, and then we just give it a little red touch up, and some bicarb soda. So I'm just gonna push them through, just sieve it, get out the lumps, you know the drill, and just push the rest of that cocoa in there. Right. I'll get working on the butter. So butter and caster sugar, we just really wanna cream that until it's pale and nice and aerated. Start slow. Definitely start slow. If you're gonna be using a hand mixer, go for a bowl with high sides instead of trying to chase it and angle the hand mixer. So high sides are gonna work to your favor. All right, so we've creamed the butter and the sugar. Now we're gonna go in with the vanilla essence. So we've got a good teaspoon of vanilla essence and the red food coloring. It's the best bit. So give that a good hit of the red food coloring, and then we're just gonna mix that through, start slow. And you can see, already starting to get that color. All right. Now what we're gonna do, just add a little portion of our dry ingredients. So this is our flour, our bicarb soda, and our cocoa powder. And we're just gonna mix that through, and then we can go in with our egg. All right, 1 egg, crack that in. Incorporate the egg, and then we can go in with the rest of the dry ingredients, the buttermilk and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. All right, cupcake mix is looking good. We'll just get all the excess off the hand mixer. So we've got all the cupcake mix. We can divide that into 12, and I can assure you that when I was a kid, I never used to go to that much effort in getting off the excess. It's the best bit. So easiest way to do it, 2 spoons, portion in one, and then just swipe it off with the other. So we'll fill these up, and they're gonna go into the oven. We've got that set fan forced 160 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And we're gonna need to make sure that they cool down before we ice them. Don't worry about having to make them perfect on the surface. You just get a nice dose in there. Again, when you're working with things like the butter that's been whipped and aerated, as soon as it hits the heat, it will find its own level. Right, 12 portions, red velvet cupcakes in the oven, 160, 20 to 25 minutes. And we are on the money. Red velvets have cooled down nicely. We've just popped them out of their little tart shells. And now we can get working on the icing, which is just as important, if not more important. Everyone loves the icing. So we've got a cream cheese icing, butter, icing sugar, and we're just gonna hit it with a little bit of acidity just to balance out the sweetness from the icing and the cupcakes themselves. So in we go with 125 grams of the cream cheese, 60 grams of unsalted butter, and you want that to be at room temp, same as the cream cheese. It's just gonna make it so much easier to work with. And 300 grams of icing sugar. So we just get all of that in there, and we're gonna have to start slow and steady, speed 1, take it nice and easy until we get a beautiful, thick, creamy, rich icing. All right. That's looking pretty thick and creamy. I'm just gonna go in with about 2 teaspoons of vinegar. It's like, you know when you have a carrot cake with the classic lemon cream cheese icing, entirely up to you guys. If you wanna give that a big hit with some fresh lemon, you know what? Let's give it a big hit with some fresh lemon, because I really feel that's just gonna make them so much more enjoyable, so much more balanced with that little bit of acidity in there. So we've just got a cheek of a lemon here. So it's gonna do two things. It's obviously gonna give us that fresh pop from the lemon, the acidity, but it'll just smooth it out a little bit more and just lighten it up a bit. Yeah, you can see already, looking really, really nice and light and creamy, getting a nice whip to it. See how smooth and creamy that is? Change the color just a little bit, adding that acidity, I think is a really smart move. And then you get the lemon kind of links up a little bit with that acidity that you get from the cream cheese. Oh yeah, now we're talking. All right, the same technique that we use to put the cupcake batter into the little shells. Just 2 spoons, on we go. Work it around, you want to get a little spiral action happening there. Go for it. So you've got plenty of icing here, and we're just going to repeat that process. On you go. This is one of my favourite recipes that I've baked in this kitchen so far. I'm really happy with it. Nice little biscuity top on that red velvet cake. Classic chocolatey flavour.